Hi, hello, and welcome back to Meraki's Method Weekly Gold Making Challenge Update. We were here last week. We missed the week before that. I'm just trying to keep on track of where we're at. So we're now in week 14. And it was an okay week. It was a pretty okay week considering all things considering. As you can see, this is account number 2. Past 7 days, stuff is going up. Sealed, our top item this week was still the Elixir of Tongues, you guys. I'm selling those hand over fist, honestly. They're making me a really tidy little sum. On account number 2, we raked in almost 17,000 gold this week. Now, I will admit, I mostly got stuff restocked. It was probably sitting expired for a while, but it was mostly restocked when it needed to be. But it wasn't great. I didn't pick up any new recipes or anything this week, didn't pick up any extra elixirs. I didn't even do any great deal scans, didn't do much snipering, honestly. I just about got things reposted. My eldest had the chicken pox this week, we had house guests this week, so it was just manic in real life, and I honestly I was scraping by with getting things reposted, and that was about all I got done this week. So that's 17k, and this is just on my random greens and trash items account, was pretty good. My expenses, I did pick up a fighter's grip of the Aurora. I picked that up for 250 gold. That was my top expense this week. Like I said, haven't even bought much of anything this week on this account, so that was the top expense of 250 gold. That currently is on the auction house for 9,400. 9,400. So that, if that sells, that'll be a pretty tidy little flip. But that's honestly basically I think I bought a recipe for a clam bar that was listed extortionately cheap as well, and that's literally it all week on this account. So it wasn't a great week for activity, but we came out of it all right because we had all that stock already on the auction house that I tried to keep up as much as I can. It was also Dark Moon Fair this week, so I was trying to get. I had one particular character who was sitting on 700 and something tokens, so I was trying to I made a priority of getting his dailies done, because that ended up getting me just about scraped by. But I got my Dirigibles rocket, the big rocket. Got the rocket, so that's one less thing I need to do. I think I'm missing one of the balloon pets. I got 2 of them, and honestly I have enough tokens for the other one. I just like I said, I dropped the ball on it because so much other stuff was going on, but it was not too bad. Most profitable item this week is insulated wiring. That's selling for 1 gold 12 at the minute, up to 3 gold. We can take a look at the ledger and that if you want to see. Here we can go into expenses. Go into sales, take it down to the last 7 days, and we'll take a more detailed look here. Last 7 days, we're going to go for price per item to the best ones. Lots of recipes this week. Elixir of Major Defense, sold that one for 2,500 gold, more than it usually gets. Threadbare Cloth Vest is actually my roleplay cloth vest, so that's unfortunate, but I got 1,900 gold for that. Deadly Sarenites, a little vendor item, I believe. I got 1,600 for that. A couple more recipes there for over 1,000 gold each. A Feral Blade, which is one I picked up from a vendor for a couple of silver, I believe. Sold that one for 1,000 gold. More recipes, more cooking recipes. I don't even think these are limited edition ones. Treaties and Statuary, obviously because it was Dark Moon Fair week, flipped that for twice what I bought it for. More recipes. Strider Stew, lots of Strider Stews for 500 gold there. Yeah, just a Coalfizz Grundling for literally nothing. Sunspring leg guards for not a whole bunch. Or how we go, Frosty Stew, 110 gold for Frosty Stew is pretty good. Sold some Dark Moon Firewater that I fished up for 130 gold each. Crispy Bat Wings in there for 100 gold. And here's all the Elixir of Tongues. I was selling those at about 81 gold. They buy them for 30, so I was selling those for over double their cost, so that was pretty tidy. More down here were selling. They were cheaper at the start of the week. They were down to 52 gold at the start of the week. Still a profit on the 30 they cost, so that's alright. This is a much better price though. What else have we sold here? These things are all just little tiny bits and pieces, super cheap. But like things like salt, sold 4 stacks of 10 on the salt, so that was quite a good turnover on that. 4 stacks of 10 there. Black dye, 5 stacks of 10 at over almost 2 gold a piece. 5 stacks of 1 for the insulated wiring at 3 gold a piece. Potatoes, Fusaka. I sold a lot of green dye, but I think the green dye must be higher up because it was about 300 each, I think. Slimy ring, don't see it there. Maybe it's, no, it can't, because this is all account. I'm not sure. And maybe it counts in as last week anyway, but I sold a whole bunch of green dye as well. But either way, pretty good week all in all. 17k of just, you know, as you can see, mostly just vendor recipes, bits and pieces. Nothing exciting, but it keeps the bills paid. Let's go on to account number 1. Now, account number 1. So before we get into this, I have I made 12,300 on my Moonglade alt this week. I can't even remember what we sold. We sold some random little pet for about 12 or 13, about 13k. Can't even remember what it was now, but it's sold, so it's all good. So we made a bit there. We made next to nothing on my alliance alt. Like I said, I'm running out of, I was just selling random bits she happened to have in her bag, and I'm running out of those. So not too much there. Past 7 days on here, our most profitable item was a Sunstone Panther we turned over. We made, on account number 1 this week, we made 163,807 gold, plus the 12k from Moonglade alt. So that was actually pretty tidy, all in all, considering that I just about got stuff reposted. I scraped by a few sort of half restocks. Like, I literally just brought up the TSM list and I made whatever I had the mats for. Didn't do any gathering, didn't do any messing around, literally just made what I could scrape out of my bags. Super quick, and that was only for enchanting and things like that. I didn't do leatherworking, didn't do engineering, didn't do alchemy, didn't do anything else this week. Just didn't have time to do it, friends, this week. So I literally just tried to get my Darkmoon Fair stuff done and all my alts, which I did, and I got my stuff restocked as often as I could. So I wasn't expecting to make, you know, too much this week, honestly, because of that, but we did okay. Total expenses, Ghost Iron Ore. I saw Ghost Iron Ore is again under 10 gold a piece, so I skimmed off some of that. That's always an ongoing expense, and my most profitable item is blank, so that's helpful. Let's go into our ledger and let's take a look at our seals here as well. Okay, so we're going to go all groups, all characters, last 7 days. Okay, so we're just going to go for auctions here as well, because we only want to see our auctions. Okay, so at the top of the list we obviously have that Sunstone Panther. I normally would like to get at least 30k for these, because that helps me, well, it more than covers the crafting cost, but it, you know, when you're buying the orbs, as expensive as they are, I like to get at least 30k for them. But you know, this is not too bad. A seal's a seal. It's been sitting in my bags for too long to keep it otherwise. Sunstone, we've got a Flameheart vest there. Like I said, I'm on a roleplay realm. I like to keep my transmog restocked, so another 24 on that. Just an old Outlands recipe. Loads more blacksmithing transmog pieces there. This Shadow Jade's pretty good. We sold a Shadow Jade focusing lens, which has a crafting cost of 16 gold for the 1 dark jade and 1 shadow crystal for 6k. It's pretty good. Sold a whole bunch of fireworks this week. The Alliance are obviously having a big party, maybe for Noble Garden or something that's coming up, because I sold about 4,000, 5,000 golds worth of fireworks, I think, in a single sweep one day this week. So that was pretty good. Lots of enchants, lots of blacksmithing, lots of tailoring. It's not surprising, because those are my main 3 professions. They're the 3 I'm most comfortable with, and even if I get nothing else restocked, those are the 3 that I'll look at to try and get something done with. But that's not surprising there. It's got some more of those. Nothing particularly, these are just all those enchants and all those fireworks. Nothing particularly special, but every little bit adds up. So it all just, you know, it all just compiles, and that leaves our total profit for the week at 192,898. So almost 193,000, which is only 7,000 short. And honestly, I think if I took another empty of my bags, I'd have the 7,000 in them now, but I don't want to, because it's late and I just want to go to bed, because it's been a rough week, you guys. We almost hit our target. I'm gonna take it. It is what it is, considering this week was as busy as it was. I'm surprised as all hell, though we got that close to our 2k. 200k, but yes, so 192,000. That leaves us with a running total of 2,350,454 gold, and that leaves us still 450,000 shy of where we should be. So we're still 500,000 behind where we want to be, you guys. We still have some catching up to do. But I also have, this is the thing, like there's a balance between liquid gold and between equity. We have 2 golems sitting on the auction house at the minute, so that's say 50 to 60 each, so maybe say 100k there. I've got 2 panthers sitting on the auction house right now, so that's about 240, so that leaves us at what, 340. And I've also got a vial of the sands, which is another 60. So I have about 400k just in those 5 mounts alone, and they're made, they're ready, they're sitting on the auction house, they're just waiting for someone to buy them. So I'm not too worried about the fact that we're 500 behind, because I know that even before I count any of my enchants or any of my glyphs or any of my tailoring or any of my blacksmith or any of the items that I have in the auction house, I know in those 5 items alone I have that 500,000. So I'm not terribly worried yet that that we're, you know, that chunk behind, because I know that I have that. I know that, you know, I can make those sales and I can get that sorted. So I don't feel like we're behind as such, just that we haven't made those sales yet. You know, that being said, if we fall off the wagon, we might get so far behind that I don't have that barrier. But for now, we do have valuable items of that value that we are behind, so I'm okay with it. We're all right. We'll just keep trucking. We'll go on with week 15 coming up this week. I don't know how it's going to go yet. My 2 little ones are meant to be going away for this week, so I was kind of hoping to have this week to level my druid farming dynamic duo that's going to be, you know, the savior of the day when it comes to farming any kind of herbs or ore or anything like that. But with the chicken pox going between them now, I'm not sure that's going to happen. So pending review on what's coming up this week. Either way, I'm trying to get as much time walking done on my alts as I can. I'm trying to get them, if I can get them leveled up, get them leveled up. If I can get them some gear, get them gear from there. I'm saving towards, there's an expensive toy I still don't have from that one. I think I have the mount, but I need to check that again. And if not, I'm going to buy some of the fishing bags for the potential to get maybe some of the fishing hats and things in there. If I have any alts that are sitting around 200 tokens and I have nothing to do with those 200 tokens, I'll sink it on a bag and see if we can get anything valuable out of those. I might do a little bit of a vendor spin around this week if I can squeeze it in. We'll see how it goes time wise, but no big plans other than that, except I'm trying to test out my new TSM system, and I want to try and get into I'm trying to build a habit of shopping. I'm trying to build the habit of shopping for cheap mats every day and only picking up the ones that are super cheap, and stockpiling them, rather than going to look for mats when I need mats and ending up buying them at, you know, more expensive prices than I would otherwise be happy with paying for them. So I'm trying to get into a more of a stockpiling when it's cheap mindset when it comes to mats. So that's kind of one of my long-term goals at the moment. But yeah, so almost hit our 200k this week. We're doing all right. Not amazing, but all right. How are you guys doing? What are you selling? What are you not selling? What are you trying? What have you, you know, tell me your plans. How's it going? As always, drop a comment down below. I love to hear from you guys. If you want to jump into our Discord, we have a channel entirely dedicated to this challenge where you can post your sales, you can post your plans, you can post your questions, whatever you fancy. All the links are going to be down below, and I will catch you guys next week. Until then, happy hunting.